Actually get into today's content. As per usual, we do have a lot to go through. I just want to make sure or ask if you have any questions from what we did last time.
No, I'm pretty good.
Excellent. So what we're going to go through again today is to pick up where we left off in regards to setting these contextual agreements with hypnosis and making sure that we understand hypnosis at a different level and go to places that language does not become our sole focus. As we looked at last time, we want to take you to a place where you can set the same context with language, but with doing it without it. So we want to be able to create hypnosis without anything overly hypnotic, anything overly obvious, or anything that someone's going to catch us doing. And that should
Yeah.
pretty much wrap up what we did last time, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
So last time we worked on the context we worked on was, I believe it was the smoker. So we worked with someone that was smoking and how they wanted
Yes.
to overcome it.
Yes.
Okay. So what I
Correct.
want to do for you today, being that you're a coach and you're working with clients, is I'm going to give you free reign in regards to what do you want to become as the client. Do you want it to be a weight loss client? Do you want it to be anxiety? I'll become any one of those clients, and we're going to do exactly what we did last time. What would you like to work on as far as a client?
Weight loss.
Excellent. All right. Beautiful. And being that you do deal with a lot of weight loss with your coaching and also your hypnosis practice, this will fit in perfectly. Okay. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to hand the floor over to you. You know where to start. You just need to ask me a question. I'll become that weight loss client, and we'll do what we did last time. We will feed into the problem. We will pick up all the dichotomies of the problem. We'll start to explore the problem and get to the point where we either get stuck or we don't know where to go from there, and that'll be the point that we start to discuss it. Okay, so the floor is yours. You are now the therapist. I am the client. Ask away.
So Scott, what seems to be the problem?
So I want to lose weight. I've tried many things before, and nothing seems to work.
So you're trying to lose weight
Yes,
and nothing. It's working.
correct.
So let me get this again. Does it sort of make sense? Nothing is working.
No, I've tried. I've tried the dieting. I've got a personal trainer. It's like I lose motivation when I start to see little results here and there.
And to the extent of it, you tried, if I'm right, let me say this, you tried personal trainer and you tried motivations, and is it anything else that you tried?
No, just those, and neither of them work in a consistent basis.
So if you really, really think about it, Scott,
Mm-hmm.
and beyond,
And pause right there.
yeah, yes,
Resist the mind-bending language or the covert language for now, because
yeah,
where are we right now? Let's discuss where we're at. What have we found out so far in a couple of questions? What do we know?
that you tried just a couple of things,
Mm-hmm.
not very much,
Mm-hmm.
and that you're having a weight issue.
Excellent. So does that paint the whole picture for us yet?
No,
Are we stuck in regards to how the conversation is flowing?
yeah.
Okay. So remember, what's the main purpose of using confusion language or mind-bending language or whatever other label this language has? What is the sole purpose of it? Or where are
To
the
put
best times to use it?
to spin you around and probably a little bit later, isn't it?
Yes. Because right now, are we blocked in the conversation at all?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are we blocked?
Well,
And I'll ask again, do you think we're blocked yet? Or do you think that there's still a lot more that could come out before that block occurs?
oh no, I am blocked.
Ah,
You
you are
know.
blocked. Yes, you are blocked. Yes. Okay. Which is
Yeah, I got.
perfect. Okay. Because what's occurring right now, and correct me if I'm wrong, do you see what happens when we get ourselves blocked? We automatically go into hypno mode,
Yes.
where that hypnotic personality pokes its head out, and we try to do something very, very fancy with language, but there's nowhere. There's no need for it yet. That language cannot sit anywhere because right now we're having a conversation. All we know is A client wants to lose weight. They've tried a couple of things, hasn't worked. They've lost motivation at some point. That's all we know.
Yeah.
So in the back of your mind, remember that magic question. What are you curious about now? What makes you curious about what this client has said that could lead into a next question? Because remember, your whole goal right now is just to find out information. It's not to resolve the problem. It's not to try and be all hypnotic. It's just to get that information out.
So, oh yes, I want to know why he wants to lose weight, or why you want to lose weight.
Excellent. And what would be the purpose of asking that question?
To see how serious you are, to see your motivations.
Wouldn't that give us motivation?
No, but I will see the level of your motivations.
Yeah. If someone says I want to lose weight, we have no motivation about why. We have no leverage to play with. So realistically, we can only take the problem at surface value. We know weight loss or the weight issue is just that surface level problem. We have no idea what's happening underneath. We have no idea on the mindset. We have no idea what stopped the motivation. We have no idea what reason they want to lose weight for. But what happens is if someone says I want to lose weight, we automatically assume our own thoughts and think, well, if I wanted to lose weight, it'd be these things for myself. So it must be the same for this person.
Correct. Yes.
This client might come out and say, I want to lose weight because the next time I get abducted by aliens, I want to be able to have them beam down light and not struggle to pull me onto the ship. Have
Cool.
no idea what they're going to come up with. And this is where the assumption sort of runs us foul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are you curious about? How could you ask that question in a very logical standard just to keep the conversation flowing?
Why?
Excellent. Pretty simple, right?
Yep.
My answer to this will be I want to lose weight to be more healthier for my kids.
Okay. And what would that give you?
Well, if I'm more healthier for my kids, I set a better standard. And I figure if my kids were to put on weight later on in life, I wouldn't be able to tell them to eat healthy if I'm overweight myself.
Okay.
So what are you curious about?
Not sure what the next step would be.
Excellent. So let's talk it out. So what have we found out? What's the next step we found out? And realize we've only done this in a couple of questions, but we're well on our way to finding out something.
Yeah. So I know that you want to lose weight.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you try a couple of things.
Yes.
And now I know your reasons.
Excellent. So those reasons now become something we call leverage. It becomes something we can utilize at a later point to either test with or to increase the value of losing weight or find out more motivation.
Yes, that's correct.
So what do you think would be more important? If we could do a mind read right now, and it's only a mind read, what do you think the real motivation is? Losing the weight or being a better person for their kids?
Be the better person for the kids.
Yeah.
At this stage.
At this stage, correct. Because that could change.
Yes.
So we're still finding out. So we know that we've got a bit of motivation, which is I want to be a better person for my kids or however that was framed.
Yeah.
This person wants to have the ability to tell her kids or tell his kids to eat healthy and thinks they can't do that if they're overweight.
Yes.
So there could be a little bit of a concept in there to explore. So you have a couple of options. We have a couple of ways to take this. It's up to you which road you want to lead, knowing that most roads lead to the same place.
Okay, so Scott, why do you think that you are not eating healthy?
Well, I know I don't eat healthy because all I eat is junk food.
Why?
Because it tastes good. It tastes better than healthy food.
Okay, isn't that a little bit of finding the purpose that you wanting to lose weight and then you're eating junk food?
Excellent. Pause right there.
Yeah.
So where have we fallen into again? And again, it's not a criticism. Where we are right now, what made you ask that question? Where were you going with that question?
Using my logic.
Yes. Now the logic is fine, but do you see how that, not even so much of a way out that you're giving me an idea to consider that's not my idea. The idea is great. Basically saying that how can you, just to paraphrase, just to make sure I picked up what you were saying, how can you want to lose weight, but you know you're eating junk food and you know that doesn't help? That's essentially what you're asking me, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is a good piece of advice to give a client, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, yes.
And the point of giving that advice would be hopefully for them to turn around and go, oh, actually, I never thought about it like that before. It seems obvious to us because we're not in the problem.
Yeah.
But being too logical, what do you think is going to happen when you give me that piece of advice?
I am limiting you from coming up with something else and new.
Absolutely. But what else do you think would happen? What happens when we're told to do something?
We don't want to do it.
That's right.
It's human nature.
That's right. Who wants to be told what to do?
Yeah.
Now, you're not giving me steps and saying you need to eat this and you need to eat that, but only one question behind that.
Okay.
You're giving me something to think about, and all it takes is for me to go, well, yeah, I've thought about that, but this still doesn't work.
Yeah. So my question would be,
mm-hmm.
So what else is up there that you haven't tried?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a good question?
What's the frame of that question? By saying, is there something else that could be out there that you haven't considered yet? What is that almost doing for me?
Open your mind into something that you would want to consider.
Mm-hmm. What are the chances that someone who struggles with their weight, knows they're eating junk food, so they know why the problem is there, has thought about many other ways they could stop eating junk food, but still can't find it? The problem would be different if they hadn't associated the junk food to the weight. Do you see how that could work?
Yes.
But now, because this person said, I know I eat the junk food, I know that causes the weight loss, I just can't stop. So is the problem the junk food, or is the problem that I can't stop bit?
I can't stop bit.
Yeah. But if a client says, well, you know what, I eat junk food, but I just can't seem to lose weight, means the ideas haven't connected, then your advice from before saying, well, do you realize that you know that eating junk food is probably the number one cause of why people put on weight? Mm-hmm. Client goes, oh, actually never thought about that. But because the idea is already connected, so these are the two parallel programs running in the unconscious, they've already connected, there's nothing else we can really do with that.
No. So what should I do?
Okay. So what are you curious about?
I'm curious why you can't stop eating junk food.
Excellent. So why not just ask that?
So, Scott, why can't you stop eating junk food?
Okay. Now, what I want to point out is last time we looked at the why question, we weren't really too fussed on it. Okay. But now I want to take that to another level.
Okay.
The why question becomes that reality strategy. And from why questions tends to come excuses.
Yes. I was waiting for it.
Yes, I know. I didn't want to pull us up on it last time because we went through a lot previously. So what we need to realize is we can ask a why question as often as any other question. But what's the implication? If you ask me why do I keep eating junk food, I'm going to come out with things like it tastes nice, it's cheaper, it's quick, it's this, and I'm going to cement in that problem.
Yes.
So when we use a why question in the future, why question is great for for positive.
Mm-hmm.
So a client says, oh my God, I cannot wait to stop eating junk food. Why? Well, it's going to do this for me, it's going to do this. Why is that going to be good? Well, this is going to happen and this is going to... That helps cement it in.
Yes.
So we're just going to be, I want you just on this call itself, to just be very careful with that why question. Another version of a why question could be a what.
What else can you do?
So the question before you asked was, why can't you stop eating junk food, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So how could you imply that same question but take out the why
Into what?
and maybe add a what? And believe it or not, this is actually going to be a little bit confusing for the clients. You're actually going to do something without actually using hypnotic language, which is great.
Okay, I don't know.
Well, consider this, and I'll give you an option here. So where we're at right now, this conversation could have led anywhere.
Yes.
Where we're at right now with this question is, why do you keep eating junk food?
Yes.
Okay, we want to take out the why, just for today, and look at another version of that. So the other version of that could be something like, so what doesn't stop you eating the junk food? Same question, isn't it?
Yes.
But what's different about that question beyond just the why?
Well, it is a little spinny.
Yes.
For sure.
But what's important about it?
It opens possibilities of what else is up there, what doesn't stop you.
Yeah, exactly. And the great thing about it, where's all the language?
In the question.
But where's all the hypnotic language and the spinny language? It's not there yet, is it?
No.
Because
but it is in the same time. So it is or it isn't, and it isn't. So
exactly. The context allows it to become hypnotic. And when I say hypnotic, it's just slightly confusing without sounding ridiculous. Ridiculous would sound like this. So to the extent you're eating junk food, what's not that's inside you that feels so good, that's everything that you've thought of before, that if you only did that, everything would be okay? It's ridiculous. Yes. That comes under the assumption of the hypnotist, especially the hypnotist, believing that if they just confuse the hell out of someone, they have a clear road into the unconscious. Now that can work, but can also detach so far from the conversation where the client goes, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
This is stupid. And as soon as they take that consideration, they stop listening, they stop paying attention. And then what the hypnotist does to counteract that is become more confusing, thinking it's not working. And then you're both sitting there being so confused, nothing gets done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what doesn't stop you eating junk food?
Excellent. And usually from this point is when you're going to get all those little unconscious moments. You're going to hear the unconscious moments coming through. Or you're going to get something like this. And this is what I want to play with today. Okay. I'm sorry I don't follow.